king of diamonds, all things diamond painting. Square around, I'm glad you are around. Grab your plate, grab your wax, get ready to sit back and relax. Don't see you're single, whatever your niche. Here is your host, a guy named Rich.
Hello, everybody. How are you? Welcome on in. Happy Sunday. I'll stop opening my mail now. It's not the time for that, Rich. I know that. How is everybody doing this Sunday? I am back on land, hence the Sea Legs Sunday title. I am working on getting back into the groove of things after being away for a week. So let's go ahead and see who is here. Let's see, Debbie Rice. Hello, welcome on in. She's saying, welcome back. Thank you very much. She's working and lurking. Tammy's here. Hello. Welcome on in, Tammy. Although I was talking to Tammy via text a lot on vacation with closing out the Witch event, things like that. So that was all going on. Hi, Carol, neighbor. How you doing? Debbie says, I was so missed. I don't know if I was really that missed, but it's okay. Hi, Muttnut. Welcome on in. Melanie, got to give the post-vacation, got to love the post-vacation mail. Yes. And actually, I was pretty excited because the post office actually held my mail and didn't mess it up this time. Although I did have a couple boxes come that went over to my neighbors, or my neighbor brought in for me. And her message to me as she was handing me 3 boxes was lay off the Diamond Art Club. So no, no, I don't think I can do that. But got some, let's see, I got one D-stash that she had, and then I got one sample canvas from a manufacturer. Why would I be getting that? I don't know. Let's see. I looked like I had a great time. I did have a great time. It was very, very nice. I think anybody who has, well, anybody's vacation, everybody has a different definition of great time, right? Whether it's action-packed, whether it's completely just hanging out and napping and taking it easy or whatever. And I sort of did a little bit of both of that. So we can talk more about that in a second. I see a question about where did I get on my painting, and I'll show you that I took with me on vacation. I'm looking around because I can't find the minis that I completed, and I don't know where I put them. They should be with my minis, but they're not. I know I took a picture of them and the progress on my canvas to post, but I don't think I got around to it. But anyway, I'll have to find them. I can talk about them for sure. Osbeer, hello, welcome on in. Next time we hopefully can get your mom on a ship. Yes, Tammy, I hope that I was showing you a little bit that you don't need to know you're on the water. It's like a floating mall. And this time, even with floating around with a hurricane in the neighborhood, the seas were, when you looked at them, there were actual white caps, which is like when the waves are big enough to make a little foam at the top. And it's my understanding that that means the seas are rougher than normal, and didn't feel a thing at all. Just maybe a little bit of rocking like when I laid down at night, but that just helped me sleep even better. So hopefully we can make that happen. I definitely saw Tammy, some folks. I didn't get a chance to see. I checked with my room steward, and there were no available or open accessible rooms on my floor. And guest services had suggested to check with him. But I know there's plenty of videos out there and stuff, and there were people out there or there. I saw at least 2 people that had chairs that were as substantial as yours, Tammy. So I'm assuming that that means that they had similar needs and they're able to make it. So just putting that out there. Sarah Ann Creations, hello, welcome in. Pink Poodle, I may have watched a little too much watching the video of you and the clowns. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, clowns. You got to love them. I'll tell you a little story about my friend Lisa and clowns as well from a number of years ago. Hello, Michelle Morris. Welcome on in. Am I over my burnout? I think I am, Osbear. I think I am. And we'll talk about that because it's a good point. Hi, Matt. Welcome on in. So let's see. Let's talk about how far I got on my painting. Let me get that. So I brought a set of minis with me that were cocktails, and I got 2 of those done. And they are Diamond Art Club sized minis. So like this big. Was this a 4x6 canvas, and then whatever the thing is. I finished 2 of them, and those I did outside the cabin. This I did solely in the cabin, which I was gonna find a place to diamond paint outside the cabin, but I wasn't having much luck. So let me show you. I was working on the Rebellion. This is from Diamond Art Club. This is the one of the Star Wars canvases, and I got 2 full rows done here down at the bottom. So I'm going to call that a decent amount of diamond painting, while also, respecting the fact that I was on a cruise. So it was a good time, and I really enjoyed. Like I said before, this is my first time bringing a diamond painting on board with me, and I really enjoyed that. Let's see. Hello, Christopher. Welcome on in. I couldn't watch clowns more than words. Even that did me in. Just saying. Yeah, thanks, Tammy. Holy color blocking Batman. Yes. Yes, a lot of color blocking, but what I think I'm going to do is, now that I got sort of like the bottom done, I'm going to start mixing in, if you remember something that Cheryl had recommended, start mixing in some, I don't know if I'm going to do ABs, but maybe some black fairy dust in the background. It already has quad cubes. It came with quad cubes. And I think there's some crystals in there, but I think I'm going to do that to the background just to break it up a little bit. But it was sort of like what I needed, because I would work on it late at night, usually watching a movie or something on my tablet. So it was exactly what I needed. So I'm glad that I brought that one. I did set it aside, and I finished. When I had left, I had just a little bit of this to go, this square. So I finished that up last night, even though I was super tired and wanted to just go to sleep. But I finished this up, and then I hung it up because it had been hanging on my table for a while. So it sort of got a little bent. So I'm letting that straighten up again. But have I got over my burnout? Yes, I have. And I'm going to credit a couple things. I'm going to credit the colorful Peggy Collins breast cancer ribbon, Mountains of Strength, that I started working on. Those colors are so vivid, really not colors that I would normally pick. But I really enjoyed working on that before I left. And then when I was right before I left, I got my package of enhancements for that. Now, these are enhancements that I'm doing myself. There's no ES for it. I will write up what I'm doing, but my idea was I want to bling out the ribbon. So here's that image. And I want to bling out just the ribbon. So what I did was I went through the cheat sheet that we talked about. How fun was that? If you weren't at the live, the oops, did I lose everybody? For some reason, my computer, it said that I lost connection, but it looks like I'm back. It looks like the counter's still going and people are still here. So here I'm back. So I went to the cheat sheet that we talked about with Cheryl, not this past Friday, but the Friday beforehand. That was a great live. I was taking notes, and I didn't have any paper with me, but what I had was I had got a new light pad, a smaller light pad that was rechargeable, so that I could, in theory, go sit wherever I wanted to and diamond paint. Well, that had some tracing paper with it, so I folded a piece in half and I was taking notes furiously there. But I love doing those enhancement talks, bling talks with Cheryl. Someone, I forgot who it was, but someone sent me some notes, like questions and stuff like that. So I'm going to take a look at that as well. And I'm going to start working in earnest on trying to get something together that we could all use for notes, or maybe a little bit of a reference, or even some type of, I don't know, project that we could all work on and maybe come up with our own ES for a joint picture. I don't know what y'all think about that. But so I went to my cheat sheet and I picked out sparklers for all of the colors that are in the ribbon, and they were either how do I put it? I guess they were mostly 1-for-1 replacements. Like, look at the DMC on the cheat sheet, and then go look at the sparklers for squares. And what's really cool is I got some. Well, all of these. I don't think I have any of these. I would have looked. I think I had one color that I needed, but looking at these, I'm I'm recognizing now some of the names, if you will. So here's Twisted Garnet. We talked about what the Twisted sparklers are. Here's Tinkled Pink, Thistle. These are all colors I certainly would not have gotten before. Here's Opal Glow Glass Carnation. That's sort of a cool color. And what we know about opal now, it has the it doesn't have the silver background to it. And then of course those glows. Here's a neon. We got a neon peach that's going to go in there. Light pink, hydrangea, coral reef. This is just an amazing. And you can sort of see that. Turn down my lights a little bit. See how it's like pink, but then there's like that, just that iridescent quality to it. It's really, really cool. And then Bellini, which let me tell you, I had some Bellinis on the ship and they were pretty darn good. So this, I think, is going to be my project for tonight. Is I'm going to go ahead and write down exactly what I meant to replace these with. I think I have notes scribbled, but I want to write it out a little bit cleaner, and then maybe start on it a little bit. Let's see. Cheryl ran out of paper. Well, at least you had some to start with. There you go. Team of Saturn Friday, some of your ideas did make it into Lionheart. Yes. I want to take a look and see. I did look at it quick, but I want to sort of cross-reference it and see what she did use and take that as sort of like a blessing that I did something good. Made a right choice, I guess, right? The French Aunt Marlene, I've been battling burnout for a month now, dealing with some health issues. I'm scheduled for abdominal surgery on November 21st. Yuck. I'm sorry to hear that, Marlene. Obviously, the health issues, I hope everything goes well. And I hope that you are able to get past your burnout a little bit. Because I'll tell you this, when I had abdominal surgery a number of years ago, I forget exactly how many years ago it was. I had 2 surgeries within probably 6 months. Both were sort of urgently needed. And there were 2 things. So it had to have been over, I've had Sammy 13 years and he wasn't here yet. So it had to be over 13 years ago. There's 2 things I wish I had, Sammy and diamond painting. Because even though it probably would have been not super comfortable to like be sitting up, I could have like laid back and done some diamond painting in the recliner. So I hope, just for like sanity's sake, right? Because if you have surgery, you're going to be in, recovering, laying around perhaps a little bit for a while. I hope that you get over that burnout. I know for me, working on something super colorful, and like that was a painting that I had ordered and I got it and I started it right away. And normally I don't do that. Normally I pick from my stash. So find something that like totally gets you excited and see how that goes. I think just not doing it for a little bit, like it was on the cruise, like not doing it a lot, really helped as well. But I hope everything goes well with your surgery as well. Keep us posted. Tammy says, I love Opal Glow Glass. Yeah, it's not my normal go-to, but I'm going to see what's going on. So we had some prayers going out to French Knot. Fantastic. Let's see. Yes, everybody's saying get better soon. Hope all goes well. So let's talk about that cruise, shall we? So I counted the seas. It was a week long. We were diverted. I think I talked about this on the Whip-In chat that I posted from sea, which that was sort of interesting. The internet was good, seeing as how we're at sea, but it was also super slow to upload the videos, because I had to download it first and edit it and upload it again. So that took several hours. I just let it run for a while. And then when I was watching, I tried to watch, I think I watched most, if not all, of Tima, but it was like shutting down every once in a while, like, stalling and stuff like that. But for the most part, it was pretty good. So we got diverted. We did not make it to St. Martin or St. Thomas, but we went to Cancun and Roatan, Honduras, both of which I've been to before. I didn't get off the ship. Quite honestly, the only place I was planning to get off the ship was St. Martin, because I wanted to go see the Yoda Guy exhibit. And then there's a bar there that me and my cruise buddy like a lot. And I wanted to get some Magic Spice. Have you ever heard of Magic Spice? There is a couple stores on St. Martin that sell this spice mixture that is just amazing. It's not spicy. It's just absolutely amazing. So I actually found on one of the stores online, and asked them if they ship, and they do. So I'm going to order some, along with some jerk seasoning. They have some of the best jerk seasoning that I've ever found. When people hear jerk, chicken or whatever, they always think of spice. And the secret to a good jerk seasoning that we always get wrong here in the States for the most part is chili should never be the first ingredient in jerk seasoning. It should always be down the list somewhere because it's not about heat, it's about the flavor. So I'm going to place an order for some of that stuff and get that. But checked out the Icon of the Seas. Amazing, amazing ship. Great room. I did send some folks like a room tour and then a walk across the ship. I'm going to go ahead and make those public as well, so that if you want to see that, you can see that. But I did some smaller videos like that. Let's see, what were some of the highlights? Highlights of the were probably The Wizard of Oz. It was an amazing production, and it was amazing. Like I was in it, and I know the story, right? It's The Wizard of Oz. I'm in it. What was very exciting was they had the number in it, the jitterbug. I think I talked about that too. But that was great to see. And it was also, they did some really cool special effects with things flying and stuff like that out over the audience. And it was sort of cool because we recognized the technology as something that they used to use. Well, they use on other ships out in the aqua theater. So we recognize that. I'm like, oh, you moved that up to the front of the ship here. So that was cool. What else? Peanut butter whiskey with pineapple juice and lemon juice is oddly good. It's like a tart peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It was so good. So I had plenty of those. And then I'm gonna have to say dinner one night. We went out to dinner 3 nights. We had sushi. We had went to the steakhouse, and then we had Italian food at Giovanni's, which is their Royal Caribbean's. They either have Jamie's Italian, which is Jamie. He's a famous chef, or there's Giovanni's, which is like their thing. Most of the ships I've gone on in the past have been Jamie's Italian, and it's good. But this Giovanni's, oh my gosh! I started with Nana's soup, which was, to me, it sounded like squirrel and beans, like Jamie Oliver. Thank you, Joe. Hi, Joe. Which is like a soup that's chicken soup, a little pasta, maybe all this stuff, and then some some escarole, and then white beans. This was similar. It was kale, Italian sausage. It had like little pasta in or something, but it was tomato based. And the meatballs were so good. And it was just the most amazing soup. So I'm trying to figure out how to recreate that. And I'm off tomorrow. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I don't know. I have to run to the store. I'm out of everything here. But I'm thinking how to recreate that. Then I had steak muffaletta, which to me sounded like, anyone is Italian cook out there or the like, it sounded to me like brujol, which is like a beef steak pounded flat, and then you put breadcrumbs and cheese or whatever you like in the center, raisins. Some people put raisins, things like that. You roll it up really tight, you brown it, and then you braise it in red sauce for a long time. This was, and there's also a German dish, I forget the name of it, but it's the same concept, but they put, usually they put onions and bacon, and I guess Northern Germany puts a pickle spear in there, and that's how I like it. My neighbor makes them for Christmas, and her mom made the pickle version. She doesn't like the pickle version. It's still good, but rouladen. And that again is the steak rolled up and then in brown gravy. But what this was, steak, muffaletta, So just like from New Orleans, right? The olive, um, probably some capers, that type of mix, rolled up, and then it was breaded and deep fried, and then served on red sauce. That was good. That was so very good. Um, and then finished up with the cannoli. Can never go wrong with cannoli. But those were probably the highlights. The casino sucked. It took all of my money. And like first of all, I get new ship, whatever. It's going to be tighter than normal. However, this isn't their brand new ship. It's been there for a while. So pretty much everything should be paid for or on its way to be getting paid for. This thing, I was playing penny slots. I do slots. I actually did pretty good on a quarter slot. I won some money on a quarter slot, but then of course I put it back in. But penny slots, when I'm paying like $6 a pull, and then you give me, ooh, big win for like $2.50. No, that's not, you have something set wrong here. And then let's see, the last night I went to the casino, I found they had 2 machines that were Little Shop of Horror themed machines. And I love that movie. I love the play. I've been in the play. I love the songs. I love the music. I love the actors. I love everything about it. So of course, once one opened, I sat down and I'm sitting there and, singing along with Tisha Campbell and the 2 girls, the little shop. And then Audrey, Somewhere That's Green was like a bonus round. I hit the Audrey jackpot on that machine for $500 and some odd, but it still didn't bring me to a positive net, which is sad, but I like to gamble. So thankfully I had diamond painting to keep me out of the casino for the other nights. But yeah, that was not cool. Cooking at Sea with Rich. Yes. I will post this video for Icon of the Seas. And careful trying to sneak that Caribbean magic spice back on the ship, right? Yeah, I used to think about that after I had those abdominal surgeries, and still to this day, I take fiber every day, but I've graduated to like pills or gummies. I used to take Metamucil, and I only had the big bottle, so I would put some in a Tupperware container. I always thought, what are these people going to think when they see this? But then Lisa, this time, she had collagen powder, and she's like, she was nervous about that. I'm like, oh, whatever. But let's see. Cooking at Sea with Rich. The one thing that I did try, it was pretty good. I don't know that I would try it again. Caribbean night in the Windjammer buffet. They had some great jerk chicken, let me tell you. But Lisa was very excited about the oxtails, like braised oxtails. And they were good, but they were a lot of work. And I was, it's like maybe if I was at home and could like all over the place, I don't know that I would normally eat those. But everything was pretty good. Let's see. Casino sucked, so you gave a donation. Yes, and I got my obligatory, here's your coupon for a free cruise at the end of it. I'm like, well, thanks. It's at least what you could do. Hi, Doretta. Welcome on in. Tammy says she would leave the casino for last because she'd never leave the blackjack table. And she's actually good at it. Do you count cards? Is that because you're a card counter? Do you get kicked out of Vegas? I want to know. She says she has good luck, but I think she's counting cards. The casino on the ship was actually quite big, larger than I've seen before. And it was less of a hallway, because like a lot of time, like on the Oasis class ships, you have two not halls, but paths that go around so that people can get from one end of the ship to the other. This you could do that, but it was less built for that. It was more of like a true casino. And they had a very large non-smoking side and then a very large smoking side, which was appreciated on both areas. But let's see, what else do I want to talk about from the cruise? I don't know. It was just really good. The espresso martinis, they were coming out of machines, which I'd never seen before. And let me tell you, that was a nice, consistent martini. I'll tell you that much. I will tell you that whatever carpet they use in staterooms is fantastic for picking up drills, because I dumped an entire tray of 310s on the floor of my stateroom. So I was like, what the heck do I do now? So I went to the bathroom. I got a washcloth, dry washcloth, and I just scraped them all up, and I sort of put them on like a piece of paper, and then we're able to use them again. But I was like, they would never come up out of the carpet or the rug that I have here in the office. I would just call it a day and vacuum them up because I can never pick them up very well. So that was good. What does not work well for picking up drills was we were in the Aquadome, which is at the front of the ship. It's a big glassed-in area, and it's has the water show in it, but then it also just has seating and like bars and stuff in it. I dropped some on the speckled marble looking floor. Yeah, I just sort of pushed those off to the side and counted that as a lost cause, because I was going to be picking those up. But hi, Sammy. Sammy's doing well. He had fun over at his neighbor's house, supposedly. But I think he's glad to be back home and be his lone dog of the house. Although I think, is it next weekend or the weekend after, I'm watching my neighbor's dogs while my neighbor hopefully goes to Las Vegas to see Kelly Clarkson. I hope that she feels well enough to do that. She had another round of treatment this past week, and she's having completely less severe reaction, but like a completely different reaction. So she's trying to deal through that. But I was worried because I didn't want to, tax her with having Sammy over there. But he's pretty low maintenance. Matt, Ossobuco, yes, they actually had Ossobuco on the Italian restaurant menu too. But I was gonna skip over that. Tammy says, "Look who you're talking to. Do you really think I'd be able to count cards?" You never know. Maybe you were like one of those savants that when you see cards, it's going through your mind and you're able to do that. I don't know. Deborah says, "I live near Foxwoods Casino and Sun Casino in Connecticut." Cool. I know Tammy cards go up to 9. Yeah. And then you had those face things, whatever. Did you see who won the small shop fest today, Tammy? Who was it? Tammy? Tammy always wins something. Was it Tammy, Berta, or Michelle? Yes, Rain Man Tammy. She can't remember drills or anything, but she can remember cards for sure. Here's my new hat, Icon of the Seas. It was a must buy because I left without a hat. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Let's see, places of diamond paint. So on the ship, like I said, I was looking for good places to diamond paint, and I was trying not to go with like sitting in the dining room when it wasn't used, because usually you have to get permission to do that, stuff like that. And they also didn't have a library or anything. They had a conference center down in the bowels of the ship, but I didn't want to go down there. So there were two places I could potentially see doing that. At the pub, they had regular tables, because one of my things was I wanted to have a normal height table Whereas wherever I worked on my minis, we're at a bar for the most part, and it was the low like coffee table. So I was holding them while I was leaning back in the chair, working it this way. So I could see doing it at the pub, but we did spend with the day that we were in Honduras, we spent in the pub for most of the morning playing Rummikub. You make rummy with the little tiles, and what was it called? My friend got it off of TikTok. Kaboom or Crash or something. You put basically a piece of string down on the table, and then you each have magnets that you need to set down. And if two magnets come together or more, you have to pick those up, and those go back into your hand. And then the person who's left with no magnets is the winner. So I was reading the rules, and there weren't big rules here, but there was a little bit. So I read it, and it said it's a game of push and pull. And that gave me an idea. Like, how magnets, there's two sides that, or, one side of each will go together, but then if you turn it around, they sort of repel each other. So I made sure I was capitalizing on that. Like, I was able to put a magnet down close to something that was already down, but I put the push side near it so it wouldn't come together really quick. And I did quite well. And finally, Lisa's like, "What are you doing? How are you winning this?" So I told her about it, and she tried it. Pretty cool. But so the other place was in the Pearl Cafe, which is like the open almost 24 hours cafe where you can always get coffee, some soft drinks, pastries, snacks, and they had regular height tables there, but that was always pretty busy. So I didn't necessarily want to sit there, but yeah, I will post the videos of the ship. I'll try and get that done either tonight or tomorrow. Put those out there, so you can all look around the ship and see what's going on. Let's see. Tammy says, "I did win." No, I didn't, because she forgot to watch. What I win? Doesn't remember. It was all rushed due to clerical errors. I think it was a $10 gift certificate to Tracy's DP World. Excellent. That is a good win. Let's see, what else? I think that's it. One of the pieces of mail that I got was from Crafts with Crashly, and I got the Witch's Way paper from Peggy Collins, because I got this as part of the mystery kit, that mystery box a couple weeks ago, the Halloween one. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I did get 2 of the mystery boxes that went, the most recent ones, but I don't like any of the paintings. So if anybody likes any of the paintings, let me know, because I'd be happy to sell those to you. But I did get, this is good to watch how I work this segue. I did get bingo cards. So I got the diamond painting with sparklers bingo card to use, but the one I'm going to use in about 20 minutes is my Crafts with Crashly live stream bingo card. And the way these work, and I'm pleased to see that there's different ones. Like, I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to put like different ones together, but they're all different ones, and you can use them when you watch a live. And if you get bingo, you say bingo. But these are going to be super fun, and I'm looking forward to using those in about 20 minutes. We've been on for, is my clock here right? No, that clock is wrong. Why didn't my computer switch? I don't know. It's only 4:40, so not 20 minutes, for longer than those. But when Crashly comes on, I'm going to use that. What other mail did I get? Oh, I got some, look at these blanks from Rapture Resins. This one is a worthless wood, Amboina wood with electric vibe. I just love that blue. Love the blue. And then the same thing in these like scale shapes suspended in clear resin. So I'm looking forward to getting those turned, which that reminds me, I have to send. I have some pens sitting at Enabler's Outpost for turning, and I need to pay for those. Let's see, what else? No daylight savings here yet. So you do observe it, you just haven't done it yet. That's interesting. Kathleen Platt, I ordered the Tima ones, the bingo release papers. Yes, that should be fun. Tonight is your savings. That's interesting. Yes, the wood blank is gorgeous. I love it. Those are Carol are from Rapture Resins. So if you go and follow Rapture Resins on Facebook, and if someone has the link, that would be helpful. They also have a website, raptureresins.com. But around once a month, Dan, the owner, does an auction, and it's so much fun. Usually I watch it. I stream it through Discord with a couple friends, and we watch it and we just talk about the different blanks and stuff like that, and sometimes bid. So I got those two. So the worthless woods, these cannot be remade exactly as shown here, because he doesn't have, obviously this is one piece of wood. He can recreate the colors in the wood. So these are usually go for a little bit more money. The resin ones can always be remade. So if the prices start getting super crazy, you just ask for it to be remade. It takes a while, but you can get them afterwards. And then this was one of the mystery blanks. So he will put up blanks that are in a cover. He has something over it. You just bid on it blindly. And this is the one that I received. This is Pearl and Purple Rain. He each one of his color combinations he has a name for. And it's cool. I'll see what it looks like when it gets turned. But the auctions are a lot of fun, and he really does some nice work with, like, he was one of the first places I sort of saw these blanks with the different shapes in it and stuff. And this used to be that places would 3D print like a skeleton type thing and then pour the resin in it. But then when they would turn them, sometimes that 3D printing filament would break or whatever. This has no filament in it whatsoever. He does this all with resin, and I don't know how he does it, but it's very cool. So I'm looking forward to getting those done. I thought everybody too did daylight savings time at the same time, Tammy, but I learned something new. I know that parts of Arizona and somebody else doesn't do daylight savings time, which I can appreciate it, because that was weird on the ship too, because it was the first night, I think it was, we had to switch the clock. So left out of Florida, so I went from Central to Eastern. Then I sort of fall back to Central again, right? But then when we went to Honduras, we had to go forward an hour, and then we had to go back an hour. And I thought to myself, you know what? I walked around the ship half the time, not knowing what time it was, because I wasn't sure if my phone was right, if the app was right, whatever. So I would literally sit there. There was one morning I'm sitting drinking my coffee, and they were doing some type of Tai Chi workout in the promenade. I just went to the planner and looked to see what time that started, so I knew what the hour was. But I hated, like, I get the daylight savings time change, but normally the ships that I've been on, they stay on ship's time, which is Eastern, no matter where you're at. And I liked that, because then you only had to acclimate once. The only exception to that was when I went on the transatlantic from Rome to Florida. Then we kept up with, but we went through several time zones. So I got that one. And it was always in the same direction. It wasn't like go backwards, now go forward, now go back. And, you know, it was sort of like doing the hokey pokey with time. And that just was not sitting well with me. But yeah, I will say that the time, you know how when you have the time change and then you suddenly notice how dark it's getting earlier and stuff like that. Definitely the sunlight in the Caribbean helps dispel that a little bit. Wait, was saving? Oh, Melly's confused. No, daylight savings time was wasn't it last weekend? I thought we already did it. I'm pretty sure. Because it was early. No, it says today. Wait a minute. Time will end on Sunday, November 2nd. I thought we did that already. Maybe I was just confused because the ship kept changing. That's what it was. No, it is today. Okay. News to me. Sammy, did you know the time change is today? Did you notice? Did you notice? And you didn't say anything? Yeah, you walking away. Yeah, so I was just confused. But I know that there's certain parts of the country that doesn't do it. It's 2 a.m. Is that why all my clocks are, you know what? Sunday, November 2nd, daylight savings time, fall back to 2 a.m. So it was today. Today. So that's why, so all of my clocks are screwed up because I had to disable on my computer too, the time zone thing because it was picking up the wrong time to go with the ship. So that's why it's not changing here. That's why when I looked at this, I'm like, I've been on for an hour and a half already and it hasn't been that long. And I'm looking at my phone. My phone went back the right way because I switched that one on the plane. But yeah, so we fell back an hour this morning, I guess. So normally, let's see, it's 4:48, so it'd be 5:48. That's why Sammy is stalking me for dinner, even though it's not dinner time yet. But he did, so Sammy did have, before I left, the Monday before I left, he had an attack of vertigo, which I hated to see, and of course made me spiral out of control. But gave him his meds, and it was been working, and I kept him on it while I was gone. So now I'm gonna sort of wean him off a little bit. But I'm hoping that it was just a stress-related thing. I don't know. We're going to the chiropractor again on Thursday because that helps with vertigo. So I'm hoping that maybe if something is out of whack, she can fix that as well. So now everyone's crazy. Melanie says, that's how I woke up so early. That's why you woke up early. Melanie doesn't wake up early, as far as I know. Tammy's saying, you're lucky, Cindy. I hate daylight savings. I hate it too. It always screws with my clock. And it also doesn't help that living the Chicagoland area includes part of Indiana, and like Indiana is the line for Eastern, I believe. So like we have coworkers and employees and team members who are like in the state next to you, but they're on a different time zone, and it's very strange because I could drive there in an hour. So I don't like the time changes. I wish it would get rid of it. It's an antiquated idea anyhow. Let's just get rid of it and move on. But I forgot the other place that had that didn't observe it other than Arizona. I forget where it was, but let's see what else. So burnout. I talked a little bit about burnout. And I like I said, I think working on something that was bright and cheery and something that I really wanted to work on. I saw someone recommend pulling out like a rainy day kit or a unicorn and working on that, and I think that could absolutely help as well, because it just puts you in a good mood, right? I also think that what you do while you paint can be helpful. So get into, like, if you have a favorite author, listen to that book, watch some movies. On the ship, I was watching all like a bunch of older, not old movies, but older First Wives Club, Moonstruck, all those type of fun movies. I was watching those. Although on the TV, I will say, so Royal Caribbean, they used to have like a full complement of channels. They cut it way back, which sucks. If you, like, about day 3, my social battery was drained and I needed some alone time. So there was one day I stayed in the cabin pretty much for the majority of the day. And so they cut it back. Well, then they started coming out with, you were able to stream. So on one of my last cruises, I streamed an entire, because I couldn't sleep, I streamed an entire season of the Great British Bake Off. So I was hoping to do that again this time, but they didn't have streaming on the ship. And I'm like, what the heck? Royal Caribbean is getting that feedback on their survey for sure. But so I had my computer, so I was watching on there. But on the TV, they do have one movie channel, and it was like just weird, different movies. So I didn't realize this was a more recent one, maybe like 2015, 2017. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Abigail Breslin, called Maggie. And I never saw the whole thing all the way through. I just saw bits and pieces out of order and sort of put everything together. But something about essentially a zombie apocalypse. There's some type of virus or disease that people get that they slowly turn into zombies. And Abigail Breslin gets it. And normally the protocol is they take the people who've been exposed to a hospital in a isolated ward, monitor them until they get to the point that they've turned into a zombie, and then essentially they end their life as humanely as possible. Well, her father, Arnold Schwarzenegger, not a tumor, you're not a zombie. He wanted her at home, so he brings her home, and she's slowly dealing with turning into a zombie, and it was a little strange, but never saw that before. There was also another one with Morgan Freeman and Keanu Reeves, something about using lasers to produce hydrogen power or something like that. And that one, it was all over the place with that one because I didn't see it in order. But the two I did, well, one I didn't see, but I would have loved to have stayed in the cabin because we were going to dinner that night. Desk Set with Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn was coming on, and that is my favorite old movie. So I saw that coming on. I was hoping they would repeat at some point, but it didn't. But instead, I missed the very beginning, but I was watching this movie and I'm like, Marilyn Monroe. Okay, I don't know who this actor is. I'm watching. It was pretty funny. And all of a sudden they had the scene where Marilyn Monroe is in the white dress and her dress blows up when the subway comes by. So I looked it up, had no clue that I was watching the 7-Year Itch. But that was a cute little movie. So that was sort of fun to see, but yeah. So what else? Let's see. People are still saying Mel's not crazy. Then Michelle Morris's Love Dusk set. I love that one. I love it because I just like sort of the look into, I mean, the story's fun. I like the look into like the office life of like the 50s or whatever. Melly says her unicorn totally helped, except now she's finished and can't decide if I'm happy or sad about it. I'm sure it's nice to see it. I hope you display it for a little bit to continue to get that endorphin rush from it a little bit. But yeah, I get what you're saying, that you're not sure how you feel about it. I did make a decision today. I'm like, okay, this is how I'm going to do things. I'm going to get my replacement or my enhancements set for the Peggy Collins. I'll probably work on that, do that tonight, and plus work on the painting a little bit tonight. But I'm like, you know what? That's it. I'm going to go back to the beginning because I have a bunch of things in process here. So I'm going to get out my J-wall. I'm going to finish my J-wall. And then I'm going to go through and finish my Halloween canvases. I have 2 Halloween canvases. I'll finish the Star Wars one. I'll finish the Peggy Collins. And then I'm going to tackle the Heaven and Earth Designs moon horses or whatever one that I have. I got all the drills for that, the replacement drills. And I think I talked about that before, where I'm just going to re-glue the whole thing and see if it helps. But I'm excited about that because I love the image. So I really hope that I'm able to salvage that that image. Let's see. What else? I don't know. Oh, you know what? I should have known that today was the time change because, as you know, I'm helping out Crashly with some of their internet posting and stuff. You know, I've been using these trackers. So I put a thing out there. Now that you have an extra hour, track it. And I put these 2 out there. I thought that was sort of a cute little advert, if you will. But I do like my trackers, and I'm using that. Diamonds in the Desert asking, which one is your unicorn? Just curious. It was the J-Raw Mystery. It is amazing. What is it called? Like Daughter of the Sea or something like that? It is so colorful. It is so beautiful that I now want to get my hands on one of those. But it is absolutely beautiful. I'm trying to think, where did you post it? Did you just put it in like a chat, Mel? But you could put it, maybe put it on the, you put it on Speaking of Diamonds Facebook page if you want, and more people can see it. And Diamonds in the Desert, hello, can go out there and check that out because it is absolutely beautiful. That is one, Daughter of the Deep. That is one, like if you are going to look for a D-stash, that is one that you want to find. Couple reasons. I mean, it's a beautiful image, it's colorful, but also it's Diamond Art Club, so it's limited to like 85, 90 colors or something like that. It's not one of the high color counts. But Melly says she'll put a spoiler warning. Yes, so put it maybe in the comments or whatever, but that would be good for those who do want to see it. It is it's a J-Wall. It's an older one. It's not the first one. I actually got was it with the Crashly auctions? I got the first Diamond Art Club mystery kit. I'm sort of excited about that, just to have the first one. But yeah. So here I am. Like I said, I'm off tomorrow. I'll run some errands. I have to go shopping and stuff like that. And I was gonna run up to the vet tomorrow, but I decided to go today so I wouldn't run into any traffic and drop off the sample baby. Excuse me for Sammy. My sleep schedule is all screwed up, I'll tell you. Let's see. Diamond Desert says she just looked it up. It's beautiful. I have a J-Wall on my stash. I'm waiting for a special occasion. Yeah, J-Walls are did you see that there's a new one at the one with the diamond art? Is that the one with the polar bear? I think it's really nice. It's on my wish list. As well as, what did Jade put something out that I was like, oh my gosh, now I'm gonna need this. I went through and updated a bunch of my wish lists today, because I have to stop buying. I have to stop buying for a little bit. And the whole, well, I'm not buying new paintings. I'm buying destashed paintings. That is just a joke that I keep telling myself. And then I buy a destash and I'm like, well, I'm not buying new diamond paintings. But, oh, did everybody see this? This to me, it's very cool. But it is so not what I would expect from Deborah Malcolm. What is it called? UF Moo. UF Moo. So Deborah Malcolm does like the pointillism, which is sort of like, the whole background thing there. But then the UFO picking up a cow. I mean, usually her stuff is nature, whatnot. And this is just sort of tongue in cheek that I did not expect. So I had to put that in my wish list at Jade, along with the Little Wanderer. I really liked this Little Wanderer one as well. It's got some swirls in the sky. It's reminding me of like Van Gogh's Starry Night or Andy Russell a little bit. So that's one thing. So I'm working with, I've been working on throwing around some ideas for a couple events that maybe just paint-alongs or actual events, but stay tuned because I'm getting ready to put those out there because I want to make sure everybody has a chance, if they want to participate, they have a chance to get a painting planned. But I'm very excited about them. I need to talk to Melanie because Melanie's helping me out with those. And I know Mermaids and Magic is coming. It'll be here before you know it. So everybody queue up a mermaid or magic related piece, or start thinking about that. But yeah, I think that's all I got. Let's see. So it's 5:03. So we've been on for about an hour. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to wrap it up and give you some time to go start dinner or do whatever you need to do before Crash comes on at 6 p.m. Central to see what all the new releases are that they're working on, what else they're working on behind the scenes. Did everyone see they had some more of the Advent boxes going up? If you wanted to get one of those, go check that out. I'm looking forward to seeing what that's about. And then, of course, I'm going to play my Crafts with Crashly Bingo, and I will keep everybody informed. Actually, I'm going to randomize my cards right now. I'll pick the card right here. He says, hi, she's been lurking. That's fine. Later, going to work on some whips. Yeah, shouldn't we all be doing that? No, I'm going to be using this one. Here's the card I will be using for Crashly's Live. So go ahead and get set for your evening, and hopefully I'll see you over on Crashly's page for their Sunday Night Live. So I hope everyone has a good week. I hope I do too as I get back to work a little bit, see what damage happened while I was out. And stay tuned. I have some videos going up this week. And of course, we will see you next Sunday. And look forward to those couple of those cruise videos. They're really short ones, but to show off the ship a little bit. I'll put those up there. So thanks, everybody. I'll chat with you next week. Bye-bye.